Hi everyone, welcome to Motorverse Studio. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. And we are here once again covering the kits that we got for the month of June. And this time around, it wasn't as bad. Well, I wouldn't say bad, but it wasn't that many as we did for the month of May. In the month of May, there was a lot of Premium Bandai kits that came in, a lot of new kits, a lot of pre-orders. So everything kind of came all at once, and we ended up with like 30 something, I believe. I think I'm up to a point where I've gotten a lot of the kits that I've been wanting for a while, and lately it's just been new releases, some of the rare kits that I'm always keeping my eye out for, and the occasional here and there duplicate. So yeah, let's go ahead and look at the ones that we got for the month of June, and let's start with the smallest ones first. So the first kit we're going to look up is a DX set, and basically a cheapy set, and that is this one right here. So Char Saku-kun DX set. And for the month of May, you saw that I got the regular Saku one, and then this was released in June. So this is Char Saku, and so this completes the collection so far. I don't know if they'll keep making any of these, but these are relatively cheap and they do look pretty cool. And as I mentioned with the ones from last time, once you build it, you can display them like this in a runner. And this one's pretty nice because it actually comes with the bazooka, the heat hawk, and the machine gun. So yeah, a nice little kit to start the video off with. Next up is another small kit, but slightly a little bit bigger than the DX set. And that is another EX set. So this is the L-Strike Gundam, and this is the SD Gundam EX standard version. And this one was basically the same price as the DX set. But the reason I bought this one was because for some reason I saw it really cheap at one of the stores. I think I saw it for like 400 yen, which I think in dollars is probably like, I don't know, like $3 probably, one of these. And basically the reason that I even bought this kit, even though I already have it, is so that I can brush paint it with some of the new acrylic paints that I bought. An interesting fact about the SDEX line is that these were actually not meant to be in Japan. The whole reason that they made the EX line was for international reasons. The whole purpose of this kit was to be sold internationally and to get more people involved into Gundam. And that's why they made them so easy, kind of like entry grade level. And actually the gimmick of this one is that you can use some of the parts as weapons for HG kits or for any 1/44 scale kit. Next kit, an entry grade. And this is another L-Strike, but this is the entry grade version. So the reason I bought this kit again is because they came into circulation again, and I can use this as practice for, again, painting or doing some other techniques with it. If you're looking for kits to practice with, I highly recommend practicing on these ones. Again, because they're relatively cheap and they're at 1/44 scale, and they really do have a lot of potential. I've seen people use these as their main pieces at exhibitions, and by looking at it, you wouldn't even think that it's an entry grade on just how good it looks and how well the customization has been done on some of these kits. Next up, let's look at some high grades. And first up is right here, and this is the Gundam Barbados Lupus Rex. Lately, a lot of Iron-Blooded Orphan kits have been back in circulation, and I think last month I picked up the Bidar HG, and then now I have the Lupus Rex. I already have the Barbados Lupus, and now the Barbados Lupus Rex. I actually already have this kit as well, but the one that I have is the ones that you get as a prize from like the lottery, the Ichiban Kuji ones. And here on the side you can see that you can also get some option parts for it. This one's pretty cool with twin mesas. I'll eventually pick up the rest of the kits for this series as well. And our next HG kit is one of my favorites, and that is the Freedom Gundam from Gundam Seed. So I'm a really big fan of the Freedom Gundam and the Mighty Strike Gundam, so of course I had to get this one. And here's some side shot images. So this is another kit that was definitely worth the wait, as I almost bought this kit one time from a third-party retailer, and it was gonna be like 3 times the retail price. But yeah, I'm glad I waited. Next up, we got one of the other G-Box kits that was released for the month of June, but this one was kind of overlooked and skipped. and that is the Bokata's Gelgug. So this kit I pretty much skipped it. I didn't do a day one unboxing for it. I haven't done a review for it, which means I haven't built it yet. And the reason for that is because, again, it's pretty much a clone of Sugaya's Gelgug, which we did do an unboxing for and a review for. So I feel like it's basically going to be the same. But I don't know, I could be wrong. There might be some surprises on this kit. And the reason I'm saying that is that one of the things that I noticed about this kit compared to Sugaya's Gelgug is that this one's actually a little bit thicker. And I don't know if that's because there's extra parts here or something else. So from what I can tell from the box, it's basically the same thing. You're getting the same gimmicks, the same kit. Probably where it'll probably vary is decals and of course the color scheme. So now I'm actually very curious on getting this one built and doing a comparison with Sugaya's Gelgug. The next HG kit that we're going to look at is actually not a Gundam kit, but I did thought it was at the time of buying it, and that is the Ash Savior. This is from Super Robot Wars OG, a series that I don't know anything of. I haven't seen it. Again, at the time of buying this, they didn't even have the image for this. I just saw the name and they had an illustration. It looked like a Gundam. And then when it finally got released, I realized that, yeah, this is not a Gundam. But nevertheless, I don't regret the purchase because it actually does look really cool. So as someone who's not familiar with this series, it actually does intrigue me to get to know it a little bit more. It looks really cool. You do get a bunch of handsets. So it comes with an Action 7. I'm not sure if you get these other bases for the individual parts. So another kit that I'm looking forward to getting built someday, and another series that I'm looking forward to getting to know. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our next HG kit, and we're going back to the Gundam series. And even though this is from the Gundam series, it is not a Gundam kit, and that is the G-Quax figure kit for Machu. I did get this kit because it is from the G-Quax series, and I do like the character Machu. And it does look like it would be a fun build, actually. And here's some images of Machu. She comes with a bunch of accessories and different facial expressions. She comes with 3 different heads. And you get this decal sheet with a bunch of eye expressions. So you could basically do a bunch of combinations. So building models of characters is not something that I focus on, but it is something that I do want to get into because it does look pretty fun. I haven't done any character models on this channel yet, but do look out for this one in a future video. Also, for the month of July, towards the end of it, the Neon kit will be released. So it would be fun to have actual both kits in one future episode. Let's look at our last HG kit that we picked up for the month of June, and that is a medium-sized kit, I would say.
Sure.
And that is the Destiny Gundam Spec 2, the Su Silhouette. So this is a kit that I really been wanting to get my hands on, and one that I wasn't able to pre-order at the time. But fortunately, after months and months of waiting, I was able to get my own copy. So the Destiny Gundam is another Gundam that I am really fond of, and I think I really like a lot of the Gundam Seed kits. So what makes this kit really special is actually the Su Silhouette, which is incredibly massive. I think it's around 50 centimeters or so. And even the images here in the box don't do it justice. If you're lucky enough to see this kit actually being displayed, you're gonna want one of these as well. So I've seen some reviews for this kit already, and from what I can tell is that it doesn't look all that great out of the box. Especially some of the colors can be a little bit off. I've seen complaints about the green and how bad it looks. Also for this kit, you get the effects for the wings. And another interesting thing about this kit is that the Su Silhouette can actually be paired with the RG Akatsuki. But to do that, you would need to purchase the Premium Bandai add-on that comes with the attachments that you use on the RG Akatsuki. So it's kind of like a set for this kit to make it complete, but obviously you don't need all 3. This one is just fine. And actually the optional parts for the Akatsuki is just optional parts for the backpack and the attachments for the Su Silhouette. Let's go ahead and take a look at some Premium Bandai items now that we're talking about optional parts and attachments. And first up is this right here. And this is basically the option part set for the Mighty Strike Freedom Gundam. And all this really is just some additional parts to make some cool action scenes, some effect parts, some extra weapons, and a base. And you can see that right here on this small image in the back. So as I mentioned before, I am a big fan of Freedom Gundam and the Mighty Strike Gundam, so this was a no-brainer. I'm very fortunate in getting the optional parts for this kit as well. As you may know with Premium Bandai items, as soon as they're posted, a lot of them get sold out in minutes. So now that we're in the real great territory, let's look at an expansion set, and that would be the expansion set for the RG Sinanju. And this really isn't much, as you can see from the box, very thin. Probably there's like 2 runners here. But basically what this is some effect parts and some extra weapons. And there's an extra damage head as well. And there's even a little figure here, which is pretty cool. And here is the effect parts, the 2 bazookas. And this little piece right here is the damage head. I also like a lot of the Gundam kits from the Unicorn series, and the Sinanju is definitely one of them. Now let's look at our next expansion set. And here it is. This is the Gundam Astrea part set. And basically what this is just a bunch of parts that go over the existing RG Exia kit. And that is to turn it into the Gundam Astrea. And you can see some of the images right here in the back, how that looks. And right here you can see the GN launcher. Here's the Pro GN node, the GN shield, and the GN beam rifle. So not only do you get the parts, but you do get some extra accessories as well. So it is really nice. And we have another real great expansion kit. And that is the expansion set for the God Gundam. So initially when I saw the expansion kit, I thought it was only the effect parts for the God Gundam, until I looked at it a little bit closer and realized that it actually does come with a lot of cool stuff. I didn't even know that it came with the horse. So you get a horse, you get a stand, some of the effect parts, and a bunch of other attachments. And this Gundam is known for having really good articulation, where you can do some really cool poses, and that should be expected as it is from the G Gundam series, and it is more of a hand-to-hand Gundam. There's a lot of G Gundam stuff this year because of the 30th anniversary. And the next real great expansion kit is something that we talked about earlier in the video, and that is the RG Shiranui unit. This is for the Akatsuki Gundam, and this is the one that I mentioned that comes with the connecting parts for the HG Su silhouette. And this kit in particular took me a long time to get, because every time it appeared in the Premium Bandai website, it would just be sold out in minutes. And it was kind of befitting that in this month I did get the Su silhouette, and I was able to get this one as well. So if my description was not all that good when I was explaining how this kit goes with the HG silhouette, you can see that right here in the image. And here's the Akatsuki with those attachment parts so that it can equip the silhouette. And here's the optional parts for the kit itself. And you can see that better right here on the side. So here are those attachment pieces for the Su silhouette. And here is that backpack. And here is the base and some of those pieces to attach the individual parts with. And now that I have the Destiny Gundam with the Su silhouette, the optional parts for the Akatsuki, and I do have the real great Akatsuki, I really need to make time to get those built. And of course, it'll be really cool displaying all 3 together at once. And now we get to our last Premium Bandai set. However, this is not for a real grade, but it is for a master grade. And that is none other than the Launcher Striker set. Or more precisely, this is the Launcher Striker and Sword Striker set. And these are the attachments for the L-Strike Gundam set for the version RM, which stands for Remastered. And actually the reason that I bought this one is because a couple months ago, I did get my hands on the Master Grade L-Strike version, the RM version, the one that's for this kit. And then I saw this on Premium Bandai, so of course I picked it up. Combining the Launcher Striker and the Sword Striker to the Master Grade kit, we'll be able to create the perfect Striker Gundam. This definitely was a really nice find that I really wasn't expecting, and one that I really didn't even know existed. that finishes up all of the Premium Bandai item kits, which did make up a big part for the month of June. Let's look at our last RG kit, and this is the newest one that just came out, and that is the Real Grade Shining Gundam. I really wanted to do an unboxing on this one for the first day, but I had a cold, so I wasn't able to. It took me a couple days to recover, so I wasn't really doing anything. So I did miss out on that time window, but nevertheless, we are gonna get this one built pretty soon, I hope. So this makes the 42nd RG kit. And I think the only reason that this one got made and it was released this year is again to commemorate the 30th anniversary of G Gundam. And they had already released the God Gundam, so it was fitting that they released the Shining Gundam. It really does look like it can make some really cool poses. So just like the God Gundam, I am expecting that the articulation for this kit is going to be really good. Even though this kit just came out and this is the newest real grade, I am wondering what the next one's going to be. I was thinking about that the other day, and I would like to actually see a real grade Barbados. I think that would be nice. Something from Iron-Blooded Orphans, or maybe, I don't know, something from Witch of Mercury. And I'm really looking forward to getting this one built, and eventually I'll have a review for this as well. And maybe this will be our first real grade review on this channel, as there are others that I do want to build as well. So it's going to be tough picking one of them, but probably this one just because it's new, but we'll see.
Yeah.
And we are down to our last Gundam kit, and this one is a Mega kit. And by Mega, of course big, and from the actual Mega series. Let me see if I can fit this on screen. And this is my latest addition to the Mega Size Model series. As mentioned before, the mass-produced Saku is really hard to find. Even though this is like the most common kit, I don't know why this specific version is hard to get. There's a lot of Char Sakus. You can find Char Saku really easily, but this one is tough to find. And just to show you how massive this one is, you can see right here in the image compared to 1/44 scale. As you can see from this image, if you're able to customize and paint it, you can actually get a lot of it. Even though these kits don't really have a lot of detail compared to perfect grades or a real grade, they still have a lot of nice detail on their own. And of course, if you're able to do some additional customization and painting, you can actually make this look really, really good. And actually a really cool, interesting point about a kit this massive is that it really opens up a lot of good opportunities for customization. And again, because the size is so big, it's more easy to customize it. And I've seen some customizations where people have done some really cool things with it. Things like adding LEDs or adding some kind of inner frame inside. So definitely happy that I got my own now. That being said, an extra one wouldn't hurt, but I'm in no rush to get an extra one, so I think we're fine for now. Again, I don't know when I'll get around to this one. And even when I start doing these, I don't know if I should just start with the RX-78-2, then this one, and then Char Saku. Also the Unicorn Gundam as well. We will get to these type of kits eventually, and when we do, I'm sure we'll have a plan for them already. And we've reached the end of this video, and if you're still here, then thank you for sticking around. And let me show you what that is. Now we have reached the last kit, and if you're still here, then thank you for sticking around. And this kit here that I'm going to show you right now is not Gundam, but it is a kit that I randomly saw, and it just really caught my eye. And after looking at some images online, I decided to pick it up. And I think I'm very glad that I did. And that is right here. I do like that it is basically a rubber ducky in this mecha suit. And it's got a deme as well, which is like a onsen duck. So even right here in the name, right? It's a B duck and spot duck. Also, what caught my eye with this kit is that it has LEDs built in. And you can see more of how that looks right here on the side. It actually comes with the main unit, and you can open up the hatch and you can actually remove the duck. And it comes with this other duck here that's in this bath with its own accessories. And also it's really cool that you have an inner frame as well. Again, as I mentioned earlier, this was just a random pick, not something that I thought I would end up buying, but I'm definitely glad that I did. I'm definitely curious about this kit, and it is definitely one that I want to do a review sooner than later. I'm going to get this one to you guys soon, so let me know if you're looking forward to this one as well, as much as I am. Again, thank you for joining me with this month's model kit haul. We were definitely able to get some sought after kits and some unexpected additions, but that is how it goes. I'll be working on some of these soon. Let me know which ones you got or want, and until then, take care, and I'll see you on the next one.